Have you ever wondered why some married women, yes, the ones who seem to have it all often, become emotionally or even romantically available to other men? Not because they're bad people, not because their husbands are failures, but because there's something deeper going on, something that even the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius might have warned us about, had he lived in this modern age of temptation, neglect, and quiet desperation. Before we dive in, take a second to like this video, subscribe if you love learning how ancient wisdom still rules modern love, and make sure you watch till the end, because this could change your entire love life, especially if you're a man who wants to understand women, and more importantly, himself. Build up. Introduce a relatable character, the story of Adil. Let me tell you a story. Adil was the kind of man who never sought trouble. Calm, introspective, curious, a schoolteacher by profession, and a philosopher by instinct. He spent his mornings reading, loved Marcus Aurelius's meditations, and believed in discipline, dignity, and doing the right thing. But one ordinary Thursday evening, everything shifted. He'd just started tutoring a 14-year-old boy, Salman, in math. Salman's mother, Zara, was warm, composed, and married. The first few sessions were innocent. Adil would nod respectfully, teach the boy, and leave. But then came the small signs. A smile that lingered too long. A casual compliment. You're so patient with him. My husband could learn a thing or two. A cup of tea that turned into a 20-minute conversation. And then one day she said, "You know, Adil, sometimes I feel more seen in these 30 minutes than I do all week at home." Context? Set up the philosophy. Marcus Aurelius enters. Now pause. What just happened here? Did Adil seduce a married woman? Did Zara betray her husband? Or is this just life unfolding? The way Marcus Aurelius described human nature, and invisibility is the slowest kind of heartbreak. Adil sensed the shift. He felt the emotional weight in Zara's voice, the way she would linger by the door, but he also felt something within himself, a warning, that this wasn't just about her marriage. It was a test of his own values. He remembered Marcus Aurelius again. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. So one evening when she invited him to stay after Salman left, Adil paused. He looked at her, really looked, and gently said, "Zara, I think you need someone to listen, but not someone who'll confuse that with love." She smiled, eyes moist, and said, "We thank you for seeing me and still respecting me." That day, nothing happened, but everything changed. Modern lesson, married women and emotional voids. Let's get brutally honest. Most affairs don't start with lust. They start with words, with attention, with listening. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." And if more men were strict with themselves about staying emotionally present, about checking in with their partners, fewer women would feel the need to find emotional sanctuary elsewhere. Married women are not easy, but emotionally neglected ones, they're walking around with invisible signs that say, "See me, feel me, remind me I'm alive." Another story, a woman's perspective, Miriam. Miriam had been married 12 years. On paper, she had it all. A husband who provided, 2 kids, a house, even vacations. But her husband Fahad came home each day and barely spoke. He scrolled on his phone, watched TV, didn't ask about her day. She'd dress up sometimes, he wouldn't notice. She learned to stop trying. Then came her coworker Nashit, a curious soul. He asked questions, not flirtatious, just present. She laughed more around him, felt younger, not because he was romantic, but because he listened. Marcus wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive." Miriam had forgotten that feeling. And Nashit, he reminded her accidentally how good it felt to be noticed. Did they end up together? No. But Miriam did something different. She sat her husband down and said, "If you don't start seeing me, I'll disappear right in front of your eyes." And you know what? That conversation saved their marriage. Lessons men must learn, 5 key truths. Let's break this down like Marcus would. Clean, honest, brutal. 1. Emotional neglect is louder than arguments. Silence in a marriage is not peace. It's a slow death. 2. Attention is the most valuable currency. Even a queen will beg for affection if she's starved of it long enough. 3. Presence is power. Most men don't need to win their wives back, they need to show up. For temptation finds the unattended. When you stop appreciating her, someone else will, without even trying. Stoicism isn't detachment. It's responsibility. As Marcus said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. Character insight, Adil's growth. Adil didn't just avoid a situation, he grew. Because real masculinity, Stoic, masculinity isn't about saying yes to every opportunity. It's about having the clarity to walk away from the wrong ones. He went home that night, opened his copy of Meditations, and underlined a line. Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look there. He realized, women don't fall for men who flirt. They fall for men who understand. And the most dangerous man isn't the charming one. It's the one who listens when her husband stopped. Philosophical wrap-up. What would Marcus say today? If Marcus Aurelius lived today, he wouldn't be surprised at any of this. He'd simply say, people suffer more from imagination than reality. But also, you are not angry with the fig tree for bearing figs. In other words, if you neglect something long enough, you can't be surprised when it seeks nourishment elsewhere. So no, married women aren't easy, but emotional starvation makes people do desperate things. The Stoic response? Don't blame, don't seduce, don't exploit. Be the kind of man who protects her dignity, even when she's forgetting it herself. Final reflection. What you must remember. Every conversation is a door. Every compliment is a step. Every ignored emotion is a crack in the wall. And you? You're either building something real, or you're slowly walking someone else's wife down, a path neither of you truly wants. Marcus Aurelius didn't write about marriage, but he wrote about self-mastery, about discipline, about protecting your soul. So protect hers too, even when her husband isn't, because what you don't do says more about you than what you do. Call to action. If this made you think, really think, then hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Have you ever been in a situation like Adil? Have you ever felt like Mariam? This isn't just a video. It's a conversation, one we all need to have. And remember, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about owning it, and never letting it own you. Sharp outro line. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.